Let's say a C program to check if the number is even or odd. In one of my previous lectures, we have already covered the working of if-else statements. The link of that video is provided in the description box. Before starting with the program, let's try to understand the working of division and modulus operators. So here I have taken two integer variables. The first integer variable is a, whose value is 7. Second integer variable is b, whose value is 2. Let's consider a is a dividend and b is a divisor here. So whenever I'll be performing division operation, it's going to return 3 because division operator gives the quotient. Whereas if I try to perform the modulus operation, it is going to give me 1 because modulus operator gives the remainder. Whenever we'll be talking about any even number, we can take a few examples like 4, 6, 8. If we divide these numbers by 2, the remainder will be always 0. Opposite to that, if we consider some odd numbers like 3, 5, 7, if we'll divide these numbers by 2, the remainder will be 1. So this is the program logic what we will be applying inside if block, and that is why it's really very important to understand the working of modulus operator. Let's say a C program. So I'm starting a program with a comment, that is C program to check if the number is even or odd. Here comes a preprocessor directive, that is hash include, which is including standard input output header file. Here comes a main function with return type void. Inside main function, I'm declaring one integer variable. The name of this variable is no, that is for number. I'm giving a message to the user, that is enter the number. By making use of scanf function, I am scanning the value of no. Here comes the logic of the program. So inside if block, we are providing the condition, that is if no or number modulus 2 equal to 0. This is the equal to operator. As we have just seen, whenever we are talking about modulus operator, it's going to give us the remainder of the division operation. So whenever the remainder of the division operation is 0, the user is going to get this message, that is the number you have entered is an even number. Else, that is whenever this condition will be false, that is the remainder is not going to be 0. At that point of time, the user will be getting this message, that is the number you have entered is an odd number. After completing the code, we need to save it first. Now we can go to execute option to compile the code. As it can be seen here, this code has 0 errors, 0 warnings. We can go back to execute and run the code. So here on the output window, it is asking me to enter the number. Let's say the number is 14. So for 14, it is giving me the message, the number you have entered is an even number. Let's try to understand the flow of execution. So here after scanning the value for variable no, it will check if no modulus 2 is equal to 0 or not. In short, 14 modulus 2 is equal to 0 or not. So as we know that if you're dividing 14 by 2, the remainder will be 0. And that's why we can see the message, the number you have entered is an even number. Let's try to run the code one more time. And this time I'll be providing the value 7. For value 7, I'm getting a message, the number you have entered is an odd number. Let's try to understand the flow of execution. After accepting the value 7, it will check if 7 modulus 2 is equal to 0 or not. As we know that if we are dividing 7 by 2, the remainder will be 1 and not 0. It means that the condition what we have provided inside if is not true. So here it will directly go down to the else portion and this message will be given to the user.